Saturday is the game.
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. Welcome to fucking Cold Hard Facts, the podcast. Let me take that back.
I know I'm losing
Excuse
my
me.
mind.
Welcome to Cold Hard Facts, the podcast. That's right, I said P.O.E. Not pod, but P.O.E. P.O.E. Provide official entertainment, provide official education for the people of the earth. And today is a crazy situation, a crazy conversation, but it needs to be had. And the conversation is about Business 101 and paperwork, and understanding the significance of what paperwork truly is. So that's what we're gonna get in today, all right? So we got my man in here. We're gonna let him go ahead and say who he is today. He's a man of many faces. He goes face without the mask on. So what's going on, baby boy? What's going on? Who we got in the building today? Just a reminder.
What's happening? I'm Double A.
Double A in the building, definitely. Go ahead, slide up in this camera a little bit, man. Don't be shy. Slide over a little bit. There we go. The mic can get you. But yeah, so we got Double A in the building, man, and we gonna talk about paperwork, the significance of paperwork, especially dealing with artists, especially not understanding why paperwork is important and knowing and understanding how to read paperwork. So that's what we gonna get into today. And so let's bring it in here. Okay. So, my biggest conversation today was going to be on paperwork. When it comes to contracts and what type of contracts to sign and what contract is best for you. I've been signed to a contract. I was signed to a production team who was getting, like, I guess, I'm not even sure what the points was back then. They were signed to LaFace Records. They were to a subsidiary label called Brandon Records. So, it was Brandon Records. This is back in, like, 98, I believe, about 98. I was still in Annandale when I got signed. But that means nothing. People get signed all day long and it doesn't mean nothing about getting signed. It's nothing. It's nothing if you don't produce from it. And I definitely didn't produce from it, but I wasn't living right. But what I want to tell you guys is about this paperwork is everybody's afraid about paperwork. Like, you hear about deals and you don't want to sign a deal because you like, why we got to do paperwork? And I try to explain to my friends and my fellow friends and my fellow artists out there, like, listen, you have to do paperwork. The reason why you have to do paperwork is because that's how it solidifies and keeps you safe and the company and the person you're doing business with safe. We do paperwork all day long. We do paperwork with, when we signed up and log into Facebook, we had to sign a contract. When we did Instagram, we signed the contract. When you got a job, you signed the contract. You go to banks, you sign the contract. We sign contracts all day long and have no knowledge of what's going on. We just, in God we trust when it comes to that. But for you musicians, you it's necessary for you to have paperwork. There's too many artists out here who have blown up and been broke. Wrong deals. Signing, not knowing your paperwork. When you're doing business, you hoping that the person is loyal in business. Business is one of the most treacherous and snakish things on the planet is when you're doing corporate business, legal business, because it's all about the dollar and everything can be handled in court. It ain't killed. And if you know the paperwork and know how to work it, you can maneuver and be great for life. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get into that. So we got Double A in the building, man, and Double A is on his way to definitely being a mogul. He's doing all the things that it takes to be a mogul, from the inner city of Violent, New Jersey, the south side where the grass is greener. And man, you've been out here for a minute. I've been missing. You've been out here on the ground, seeing artists. You watch them grow up to becoming who they are. So, and you watch the scene. So, give us a little bit of what you've seen and what you understand about the game, and especially when it comes to the knowledge of paperwork and what they think they should have, or the lack of knowledge of.
Well, I don't know. Listen, when I got into the game, man, I wanted to see motherfuckers win, right? So my paperwork was all fucked up. I ain't had nothing. I'm just saying, well, this what we is, this what we doing. Like, you my artist. I'm paying for studio time.
Right.
I never see none of that money back because no paperwork. You ain't getting that shit back. That's like somebody doing you a favor or doing something for you, and you don't see a motherfucker for 10 years. You forgot about that shit. You don't get that shit back.
Exactly.
Right, but that shit is very important nowadays, bro. Paperwork is everything. It tells you how you get paid. It tells you what's the split on a record when you're making a record with somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Having all your paperwork right, BMI, ASCAP, and all that, it lets you know where your music is popping at. So you, when you do schedule your when you do schedule shows and shit, when you do schedule shows and shit, you know where you can look right on there and it'll tell you where your shit hitting at, where what city, what state. So you tap into them and you start to schedule shows around where your shit is popular at. But
Definitely.
that shit ain't, you can't do none of that shit without paperwork though. You need your paperwork right. Paperwork, it protects you, it protects the artist, it protects your brand, it protects the business.
It gets no better than that. Let me do that again. It gets no better than that. Paperwork makes the paper work. Just imagine this. If you're in the streets, if you're in the streets and you're a drug dealer, let's just use drugs because I wanna relate to those in the struggle and those who trying to find their way out. And they ain't trying to work for the man. They trying to find their own entrepreneurs, right? When you start in the game, you find you hear about who got what, and you want the best product for whatever it is you got. If you know you get a product from your man for cheap, but it ain't that good, and everybody else on the block got good stuff, you gotta wait to the end, and then you might not make it if they keep reeing up fast enough. Now you find yourself penny pinching. So you want to find the right connect, and when you find a connect, you want to make sure the person you're dealing with, especially when your money starts going from a 8 ball to 4.5 to the whole to you moving. You want to make sure that when you get that money that you got good business going on. Now, of course, there's no paperwork in that business. It's about trust, but it's an illegal business. Everybody can go to jail. People die behind it's a business. So, of course, you're not going to have no paper trail behind you. But when you get into the legal world, when you go sign up for a job, you go fill out an application. When you wanted a license, you filled out an application. You had signed paperwork and struck up a deal with the government to be able to drive, and you're going to follow these rules. These are contracts that we sign on the daily, on the regular. So when you become an artist or you want to do a business and you want to join into other people in their ventures, if they're a law-abiding citizen and they work their way to the top, they hustle, do you think they're going to risk it all on a person who's just saying, yo, let's just shake hands? They're going to put, we've seen too many movies, the heartbeats, the temptations, but I'm going to do with the heartbeats. Or how a manager can see talent and take his time and his energy and book the studio time and do all of that. And then get to a point where they like, well, no, we don't need contracts. We shake hands. It's a man mature thing. See, when everybody broke, everybody want to get to the top. But when money start coming, everybody start counting everybody else's money. So when you broke, it's cool. But when you start getting money, now you got other people in your ear. Well, you ain't making enough. Well, you the head singer. Well, you really the pioneer, the backbone of the group. What you have is people start whispering because they see you, and they're trying to break down what you have. Because when you coming from the inner cities, a lot of times we build monopolies and don't even know it. And before we even get a chance to blow up on our own monopolies, they come in and give us just enough money to walk away from everything. And everybody say, I'm gonna get this money, I ain't gonna leave my friends. You only gonna bring like 2 or 3 with you. They gonna tell you. Like, I just gave you $1.5 million from this album. I straight fronted you from the rip on that advance, $350, plus you had to pay 30% of that to your manager, and then 30% in taxes, damn near 40% in taxes. So off that million, all you brought back was $300,000 in the end. Off $1 million, you're bringing in $300,000 as an artist. Your manager has to get paid. You have to pay your taxes. Your manager has to get paid because that $300,000 that your manager got, he's going to reinvest into his brand, which is you. You are supposed to do the same thing with your money. Most times you buy cars, we buy chains so we can catch up what's going on in the streets to be better looking than everybody in the streets that have that image. And don't realize that shit costs every day. Gas costs every day. That once you bought that big ass house, you forgot that you still got to pay land taxes every day, every month. Property taxes, you got to put something in escrow to make sure for if something, people don't understand the foundations they even run in the household. So how could they possibly understand what it is to be in the business? And that's why when you don't know business, you need to find yourself a lawyer. You can't avoid paperwork but for so long.
These niggas don't get lawyers when they catch cases, you know.
And
Yo,
let's give them that. The sad part is the truth, and I'm a living example of it. I've done it. I know what it is to be that person too, that guy. I know.
This is the honest fact. Listen, yeah, you need lawyer, paperwork, and all that shit. Nah, get you a manager like me.
Exactly. Or me. But I'm not moving yet.
This is gonna do shit like
when
that.
I pick the right one.
You worry about rapping because let's be honest, you ain't gonna go get no lawyer, and you ain't gonna go. I mean, you ain't gonna do the shit that you're supposed to do.
Not gonna fill out the
to get where
paperwork.
the fuck you need to go.
Corporate paperwork,
So-
corporate taxes. You're not gonna do the minutes. You got to do minutes when you have a corporate, when you have a business. If you have a LLC, you have managers. If you have a C corp or a S corp, you have CEOs. You have CFOs. You have CCOs. You have a different type of mechanism of running things. And then the bigger the better the business, the bigger the money. So if you don't know nothing about that, and you only heard things, and you haven't really diligently researched it, you have to trust that you have to find the person that you can trust to represent you in that form. If you don't speak Spanish and you're in the Spanish world, you need to find the best representative that speaks Spanish that's going to represent you and not go out there and shit on you. Get you a Chinese tattoo and that shit say eat ass when you thought they said love and peace. You know what I mean? So you got to be aware of your own shit. That's what it really comes down to. You can't duck paperwork though.
Nah,
You can't duck it. You can't. Every one of your biggest artists did paperwork. Or you can say you go independent. And this is what I really want you to break down. Break down independence. I want you to break it down because everybody knows who you are, so let them really hear what it is that you are breaking down to them about what it is to truly be independent and the hard work and dedication it takes.
All right, yeah, we independent, like independent, like everything done by us, nobody else. Everything studio, everything paid for. I mean, everything is just done by us. Independent is taking, is branding yourself. Brand yourself. I mean, shit. It's a lot of fucking work.
It definitely is.
It's
I know.
a lot
Yeah.
of work. It's a lot of work because, like, going independent, you're going to deal with a lot of motherfuckers that got a lot of opinions. Like, everybody got an opinion. So a lot of motherfuckers going to talk a lot of shit. Oh, you need to get with this label. You need to get with them. It's like, nah, like, why? Why get with somebody, right, that's going to get me where I already know where I'm going any the fuck way.
True indeed.
It's going to get me there, take half my money, half the artist's money. Like, bro, for what? Like, you know what? I'll wait an extra year and a half, and I'll take the long route to get all my money. Like, if you want to win,
The marathon.
like, you got to believe in yourself. That's what independency is, believing in yourself. Like, you don't, I mean, you use people for what you use them for, as long as you know. Like, this is chess. Like, people use you
Exactly.
too.
Manipulation.
I'm saying,
It's you can manipulate for the good or the bad.
Yeah,
You
you
manipulate
too.
your kids. You give them peas and the applesauce. That's a good manipulation to make them have their vegetables. So you can manipulate good people for the right reasons. It's just when you in control, manipulate for the right reasons. Because when you choose royalty over loyalty, as Wiz says, you can end up
losing everybody that's loyal, B.
Word, it don't get no easier than that. We got some guns on that too. Nothing. That was a breakdown. He said that perfectly. But
The independent way, like, if you don't want to do the work, then, you know what I mean, go get signed by somebody that's going to do the work for you. And they're going to get the money for your ass, too. Like, straight up. The game is so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's so cutthroat. Like, fucking with this game, like, you surround yourself with people that you can believe in and trust.
right.
Because this is a cruddy fucking game. Like, I ain't nowhere. I'm here with y'all. Like, I done been through a lot of bullshit. Straight up, like.
Lose a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Having to delete whole albums on niggas because they don't know how to participate in the game. They want to run everything and not understand that they don't spend the money.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing about a manager. Like, you being a manager, you're the manager who's going to go ahead and book the studio time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go ahead and make the phone calls to make sure that they have a show to go to.
Sure.
You're going to put them in places that they can be to propel, but they still have to do their work.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of things
It's like, I'm going to work with you, though. We ain't nobody just one person working. We working.
we working. You rapping, and I'm behind the scenes.
We work. We the engine.
Right. It's like
I mean,
Voltron.
everything got to
Like
come
Voltron.
together so this shit work.
That's the
Yeah, man.
that's the biggest key. Is understanding, man. The universal language is truly understanding. Because pure understanding is pure love. Because there's no not understanding. There's no wondering. When you know for sure about something, there's no wonder. There's no doubt. So you know, like these contracts, and remember this: contracts can be very simple and in plain language. They do not have to be 80 pages. When you see contracts with mad pages, that's because they're hiding something in there. One paragraph hidden in all them pages that changes everything. Contracts don't take much. Contracts are as simple as when you were a kid and you say to that girl with that piece of paper, "Do you like me? Will you be my girl? Yes or no?" That was a contract. If you circled yes, nigga, that was your girlfriend. You had to buy her Valentine's things on Valentine's Day. You had to do all that type of shit you had to do. You feel me? So, it's. I just want people to know, don't be afraid of contracts. Just understand contracts.
Just understand
it.
them. Read them.
Take time and understand contracts. Read them.
Read them. I mean, if you
Ask questions.
If you're gonna be serious about your craft, like you're gonna see contracts. So if you're gonna be serious about your craft, then you should try to learn how to understand contracts.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's basically on you. Like, this is what you want out the game. I mean, I first came in the game, you know, I had a little team, like, I mean, we was alright. We was trying. I had contracts sent to me. And you know, at the time, like, you know, my dad is my dad. My dad is Fred Arthur. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir. Let's give it up. Let's give some gunshots for that. Salute.
And then when, you know, the crazy thing is when a guy came to give me the contract, I said, you know my pops, right? Fred Arthur. He said, oh yeah, I know your dad. All right, still gave me the contract. I ain't even look at the contract. I gave that shit straight to my dad. That's what my dad do. My dad hit me back and said, "You'd be a goddamn fool to sign this contract." So this how disrespectful it gets. The game is fucked up. Like, you know who my pops is. You know he's very business savvy.
Right.
You know I'm gonna go check him out.
Right.
But you still gave me a contract that was like, shit, nigga. He went like, shit was crazy. Then call itself fixing it. And a month later sent me back. My dad said, "Man, he not telling you nothing he gonna be doing for you." Talk about he'd be performing his job at the best of, what's his job?
Yeah, what is
at
it?
his best of
What's the
ability.
description?
What's your best of ability?
Right.
A phone call, that's the best I could do today.
That's not arguing in law.
Yeah, because it's right there. It's telling
paperwork.
you.
Knowing what you signed, knowing the language.
It's not telling you shit. So if motherfucker said, I thought about it, that was the best I could do today. You feel what I'm saying? Like, shit be crazy.
I'm gonna give you a story, right? I was in when I was out in Boston. This artist, nice kid, was Cambodian, light-skinned kid. He can rap his ass off, but he could sing even better. He was like a Cambodian Drake. Nice. Josh Texteria, I want to say his name is. Check him out, YouTube, whatever, Facebook. Boy's really good, really talented. If anybody could work with him, I know he's working with somebody out there. But I just want to say this, right? Because I was older, I do music, I rap, I sing. He's seen I like to play, I just love music. And I'm really interested in the music, the aspect of music. I would love to be anywhere in the game of music. I don't care if it's behind stage holding lights or I just love the whole vibe of hip hop. I mean, I grew up, I'm a hip hop baby for real. But I was like, yo, so what would it take? What type of contract would you take to get, what would you sign? He said, yo, if somebody gave me $75,000, I sign. I said, 360 deal? He said, yeah. I said, 75,000? He said, I said, so what you gonna do with the 75,000? He was like, man, I gotta get my mom's out like that. And in his brain, he didn't want to say hustle, but in his brain, like, man, I can get a bread. I can pay back some bills, I can take care of this, and I can flip, and I can be right. You know what I mean? And so, without him having to say it and without me attacking it, I strictly said to him, I said, well, $75,000, you got a manager, right? He said, yeah. So your manager get 30% of that. So he looked at me, I said, so just say you got 30 times, he gets 21,000 roughly. Of that automatically is the 30%. You still get about another 50 something, but you gotta pay taxes on that too. So then, but that 75,000 that you got and you happy, you don't realize when they gave it to you, if they gave it to you, because 9 times it comes to a check to your manager. But if you're independent, they give it to you, and you're independent, you don't know to go pay the taxes off immediately. You don't know to take that same money you just got and make sure that you put it down on paying your rent for the next year. Because you can't be working and you can't be worried about your bills. Your girl can't be worried about the babies. So a chunk of that, you can't buy a new house with $75,000 for your mama. And you can only get yourself up out of debt.
Right.
You can't even book enough studio time to perform a great album and book an artist with your money.
And then you still gotta pay the motherfucking manager back for all the studio time he done booked before you got that much. So you gotta pay him.
Come in here, you might know a little bit about the game, sit around some knowledgeable people, soaked up enough to where you can con the average person to listen to you. But when you sit up in this building and this guy's been doing this for 30, 40 years, or the son is sitting in there at 23 who grew up doing the business and he's used to seeing it with his pops or his uncle, whoever, and you walk up in there and you're like, so he asks you, so I like your music. Tells you I like your, everything's a script. I like your music. It sounds great. I have a great ideas for you. Blah blah blah. But give you the whole spill. But what are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for a distribution deal. Looking for a distribution deal. Okay. What type of distribution deal? Well, see, what I'm saying is, as soon as you go there are certain terminologies and words that you're supposed to say when you know the game.
They know you don't know the
so
fuck
they
you
know
talk
that you're
about.
only talking off the cuff of understand. You can be 100% when it comes to common sense, but when it comes to this game of words and trickery, like you said, I always tell an English person who be around Spanish people, if you don't know Spanish, and you know little words like mamacita and como está and all the little word que tu quiere, que tu tiene, all the little slick things, but if you don't know how to carry a conversation, you can miss a whole bunch. So the language of English is just like that. It gets perplexed when you start talking about contracts, you start talking about business. It's the English language, but on steroids. And the same words that you use every day that in the hood mean one thing, don't mean that in the contract. Right. And they know this.
Right.
And so yeah, you have a million people who fall victim every day. And because they fall victim every day and we've seen it happen, be on your P's and Q's. You don't have to learn from your own mistakes. You can really learn from the mistakes of others. You do not have to go through the struggle. So when you have a brother here he ain't an artist. He sees potential and talent in artists. He sees the development in musicians, guitar players, drummers, church singers. The music we deal with, you might see a lot of hip hop, but we do Christian music. We do secular. We do all types of music, pop, rock, like very, very versatile as far as what we do over here. And his eye is golden. But you got to know the game.
Appreciate that.
His eye is golden. You got to know the game, man. Shit, I'm off your backbone. I've been going. I've been out the mix. But if my feet ain't been on the ground, I'm looking at another brother whose feet have. The last thing I can do is be cocky about what I know when I only know what I used to know. You live in here. So you feel me? So I love to sit around my brothers and learn. I learn from you, V, June. I learn from all of you guys. And that's what you got to have when you want to come in this game. You got to have a mind of wanting to learn and comprehend other people. Because if you don't, you're going to fall to the wayside. So, I mean, just wanted to talk to everybody, man. Let them know, like, don't be afraid of paperwork. And a 360 deal, I'm going to say this. A 360 deal is not a bad deal. A 360 deal is groomed for people who don't want to do all that other extra shit. They don't really, they understand. When the artist knows, look, I ain't no marketer and manager. I know a little bit, but I don't know shit. When they really know themselves, like, yo, look, I know little things. I grew up in the hood. I seen things. I've done things, but I don't know it on this level. I never had Pepsi Cola as a sponsor, and they just gave us $1 million to do this concert along with Verizon. And now when I step up in here, I'm representing Pepsi Cola and Verizon, because if I do some dumb shit, I lose my motherfucking sponsorship, and I'm back to the hood with a big debt I owe this company. You think because you broke now, one day you're going to get tired of chasing your dreams. If you don't chase your visions. Your visions become dreams, and now you find yourself at a regular day job, and now they ciphering about 30% of your check because you owed it from when you was younger with a contract and you was just too cocky to understand the game. So you felt disrespected because you disrespected yourself. Like you said, your pops was the blessing. Yeah. Your pops told you, this nigga shitting on you. For sure. Take that back. You took it back. You think this nigga ain't telling you nothing. That was wisdom. Because you can read the contract yourself and think it's good, and the pop's like, yo, bro, this is the problem. Now he made you aware, and that awareness, you talk to somebody else. Each one teach one. That's what we do around here. But welcome to Cold Hard Facts, the podcast. We are definitely in the studio, the living room. We got Double A in the building, and today's topic was definitely Business 101. Me and this man will be sitting here doing this from time to time, studying and talk to you guys about this game, about this industry. You got any questions, please ask. You know, at this moment, I'm not really like reading text or whatever. We're trying to get this live thing on YouTube going on, Cold Hard Facts, the podcast. Still trying to get it right, you know, sketching a little bit. But once that's together, these lives, and then the whole secular vision at the end when it's all over with, you get to watch the lives and then come back the next day and get to watch the whole setting from an outside perspective. That's what we do. We work together to make sure that we all can groom and grow together. That's why we all go live on our own pages. It is a must to go live on your own page to keep yourself keep yourself relevant, not riding behind somebody else. So check us, man. Man, hey, take it out, man. It's your world, bro.
Rugs. D Rugs. Hey, yo, D Rugs, you said some real shit.
Yeah.
You see what he said? He said words don't mean the same thing legally.
Exactly.
As they do commonly.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
That's a fact, bro.
Exactly. But Oh, guys, listen. Soon we gonna have it to where you can call in. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep it at this fucking up. I'm gonna keep pushing it. I done studied too long on it because I wanted it to be perfect. But if I'm not doing nothing, you won't even know if I'm doing anything. I'm just talking. So yeah, when you see the glitches, just listen. We gonna get it right though. We out here working, man. So you get to see us from the bottom. You get to see this shit built from scratch. You get to see the imperfections, the perfections. You get to see us fall, laugh, joke, drink, smoke. You know what I mean? Cry together, laugh together. We a family. When you hear the mod, you hear the MODD, the mod, not mob, the mod. Yeah, no. We here 1212. Ghost Mafia in the building. Don't get it fucking nigga. Wasted entertainment. Pour that drink over. You already know. Pro Caliber Entertainment, aka Built from Scratch, the label in the building. Cold Hard Facts, the podcast, and we got so many other podcasts coming. You got Wani, you got Double, you got Vito doing the living room. Man, listen, you got Storm coming up with Spark It Up with a whole bunch of good things coming for the ladies. You know, so this place here is for everybody. Like, you got people coming here right now, thanks to the lives from my brothers. They seeing what's going on. They want to feel. They want to come in. They want to be a part of it. And that's a beautiful thing. And you can be a part of it. But there's a structure to this. So definitely call in, text in, find out what's going on. Get on all our pages. If you see one, you see us all. If you see our faces on here and you cool with one person, go be a friend on Facebook on all them other pages. Because we got a whole bunch of information for you, man. Yasi. Happy motherfucking birthday, boy! Happy fucking birthday, boy! Now get this music done, nigga. You too talented to be fucking running around here still trying to motherfucking let it be known was nigga. We already know what it is, nigga. Be you now. Step out here and show how niggas you talented with this fucking music, man. Definitely. I'm getting off on this live, but we gonna definitely stay on double shit. But I'm getting off on this live, yo. Peace out.